Hey, amazing viewers, I love connecting with you all around the world. Stay with me until the end, because what I'm about to share will leave you inspired and ready to take control of your own life. In today's story, you'll hear about an incredible twist that no one saw coming. Also, if this is your first time here, press the subscribe button and join our incredible journey. It was a crisp winter afternoon, and Sarah Adams sat at her kitchen table, stirring her coffee absent-mindedly. The steam rose into the air, but her thoughts were miles away. She had just received a phone call from her husband, James, about something that had shaken her. James, always the calm and level-headed one, sounded tense on the other end. "Sarah, my mother wants us to come over tonight. She has something special for your birthday," he said, his voice betraying a hint of unease. Sarah had always found the idea of her mother-in-law, Eleanor, a bit daunting. Eleanor, elegant, poised, and ever so proper, had a way of making everyone feel like they were walking on eggshells around her. Sarah had tried her best to win her over. She was polite, attentive, and did everything she could to make sure Eleanor felt comfortable with their marriage. But there was always this unspoken tension. "Do you think she's finally going to accept me?" Sarah asked, trying to mask her nerves. James paused for a moment. "She says it's a surprise, but she's been acting strangely lately. It's as if she's trying to make up for something. Just be careful, okay?" "Okay," Sarah replied, trying to shake off the unease that had settled in her chest. She finished her coffee, grabbed her coat, and headed out the door to meet James. Little did she know, this night would change everything. The moment they arrived at Eleanor's home, Sarah could feel the weight of the atmosphere pressing down on her. The house was grand, an old mansion tucked in a quiet neighborhood, just like the woman herself. The door swung open, and there stood Eleanor, her silver hair perfectly styled, her tailored suit looking as sharp as ever. "Welcome, darling," Eleanor said, giving Sarah a tight but polite hug. There was something different in her eyes tonight, an unreadable expression that Sarah couldn't quite place. As Sarah entered, she noticed the room was full of their closest friends and family. Laughter filled the air, and yet Sarah couldn't shake the feeling that she was the subject of some sort of quiet scrutiny. Eleanor, with a smile on her lips, raised her glass. "Tonight is special," she announced, her voice commanding the room's attention. "I have a surprise for Sarah, something I've been meaning to give her for a long time." Before Sarah could even process what was happening, Eleanor turned and beckoned to someone outside. "Bring it in." The door opened, and to Sarah's shock, a brand-new gleaming red Mercedes-Benz S-Class was rolled into the driveway. Her heart skipped a beat as she stared at the luxury car, its shiny surface catching the light from the street lamps. The crowd gasped in admiration. "Do you like it?" Eleanor asked, her voice sugar-sweet, but her gaze sharp. "It's the latest model. Had it specially ordered just for you." She handed Sarah the keys with an almost imperceptible smirk. "You should be grateful," she added, her tone making it clear that this gift came with strings attached. The crowd cheered, but Sarah could feel her stomach churn. She stood there, frozen, a forced smile plastered on her face. The car was beautiful, no doubt, but something didn't feel right. Why had Eleanor chosen this moment to present such an extravagant gift? Was it out of kindness, or something else? James was beside her, beaming with pride, his hand on her back. "Isn't it amazing?" he whispered in her ear, his voice filled with awe. But to Sarah, it felt like more of a cage than a gift. The next few days passed, and while everyone praised the car, Sarah couldn't bring herself to drive it. Every time she looked at the shiny red Mercedes parked outside her window, her stomach would tighten. James asked her several times why she hadn't taken it for a spin yet, but she always found an excuse. "I'm not used to it yet," or "It's so big. I need to get comfortable with it first." But the truth was, Sarah didn't trust the car. She didn't trust Eleanor. One afternoon, when James was away at a business dinner, Sarah decided she couldn't ignore it any longer. She walked down to the parking lot, determined to face her unease head-on. She unlocked the car and slid into the driver's seat, taking in the luxurious interior. The leather seats, the polished dashboard, the intricate controls. But as soon as she started the engine, something felt off. The sound was too smooth, too perfect. And then she noticed the settings on the dashboard. There, in the profile section, was the name Eleanor Adams. Not only that, but the navigation history contained addresses for places she and James had visited, as well as her workplace. A chill ran down her spine. Then she found it. The tracking system. The car was equipped with a GPS feature that could track its location in real time. And the most unsettling part, it was linked to an account under Eleanor's name. Sarah's breath caught in her throat as she realized the car wasn't just a gift. It was a tool for monitoring her and James. Suddenly, the tension she had felt for so long clicked into place. This wasn't about kindness. This was about control. Eleanor had never let go of her son, and now she was trying to control Sarah's every move. Shaken, Sarah closed the car door and walked back to the apartment, her mind racing. She had always known that Eleanor had a subtle way of inserting herself into their lives, but this was a level of manipulation that she hadn't anticipated. It was a wake-up call. Later that evening, when James came home, Sarah sat him down. With a trembling voice, she told him everything she had discovered about the car. She explained the tracking system and the unsettling feeling she had. At first, James was shocked, but as he listened, his expression shifted from disbelief to anger. "I should have known," he muttered. "My mother, she's always been like this." The realization was heartbreaking, but it was also liberating. Sarah had always felt like she was fighting for James's love, for his attention. But now she understood something far more important. She didn't need Eleanor's approval to be happy. She didn't need anyone's approval. As Sarah looked out the window that night, watching the city lights flicker below, she realized that life wasn't about appeasing others. It wasn't about accepting control disguised as love. True freedom came from breaking free of those who tried to manipulate your happiness. She and James had their own path to follow, one where they could build their lives on their own terms. And sometimes, the greatest gifts are not the ones wrapped in shiny paper or given with extravagant gestures. The real gifts come when we have the courage to stand up for ourselves, to say no to the things that bind us, and to choose what makes us truly happy. The red Mercedes wasn't a symbol of luxury. It was a reminder that freedom is the most precious gift of all. And in that moment, Sarah knew she had the power to reclaim her own life. This concludes the story. Thank you for watching until the end. I hope you found it enjoyable. If you did, please consider liking the video and sharing it with your friends. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and activate the notification bell for more captivating stories. Have a great day.